Hello guys, and welcome to another Python for data science tutorial. And in this tutorial we'll be talking about Numpy. Okay, so what exactly is Numpy? Numpy is a Python library used for data science, and Numpy is short for numerical Python. So I'm just going to write that down here. Numpy is short for numerical Python. Now Numpy has functions that can handle some common mathematical problems that you learned in school that has to do with linear algebra, matrices, and whatnot. So how do you create a Numpy array, or how do you work with Numpy generally? You actually use a Numpy array, and we would actually go into the practicals to learn exactly how a Numpy array is created and how a Numpy array is different from a Python list. So let's say you have a matrix, for instance, and remember how you write a matrix: 1 2 3 4. Okay, so this is actually a 2 by 2 matrix in maths. Okay, 2 by 2 matrix. And if you have forgotten what matrices are, I'm going to drop a link in the description that you can use to refresh your memory on exactly what a matrix is. Okay, so this is a 2 by 2 matrix, and 2 by 2 means we have two rows. So this is row 1, not row 2, sorry. Okay, so this is row 1, right? This 3 and 4 is row 2. Okay, so row 1 comprises of 1 2, while row 2 comprises of 3 4, and this is column 1 right here and column 2. So column 1 comprises of 1 and 3, while column 2, okay, while column 2 comprise of 2 and 4. Okay, so this is actually a matrix. How do you represent this in using a Numpy array? So all you simply need to do is just say numpy.array, okay, and then you can represent this like so. So you have this, and this is going to stand for the first row, which is 1 comma 2, okay, and then the next row, which is 3 comma 4. Okay, so if you look at this, you will see that this is a two-dimensional array known as a 2D. Now if you just have a single element like so, numpy.array right here, and then you have just one element like so in a list, for example 3, okay, or even if you have more than one, 3 1 and 4 for instance. Now this is regarded as a one-dimensional array, and you can create multiple dimension 1D, you can create a 2D, you can create a 3D, and so on and so forth in Numpy. And you have functions to actually work with this kind of operations. Okay, so you can find the mean, for instance. You can find the minimum value, you can find the maximum value, you can find the transpose, okay, so, and a whole lot of functions available to you off the bat. So how do you work with Numpy? Okay, now you work with Numpy by installing. So the first thing you need to do, so I'm just going to create a new page. So the first thing you need to do is you need to install the library, and you can install the library using the pip Python package manager or the conda. Okay, now before this video we installed a software called Anaconda, and Anaconda allows us to have access to what we call the Jupyter notebook. Okay, now the Jupyter notebook, sorry, missing the spelling of notebook right there. So the Jupyter notebook is what we are using as our IDE, integrated development environment for Python for data analysis. Okay, so the first thing you need to do, like I said, you need to install the you need to install Numpy, okay? And then after you've installed the package, Numpy package, then you need to import it into your program, okay? Now I'm going to show you how to install, import, and then you can start working with Numpy, okay? So let's get right into the practical section right away. So I'm just going to go back to my desktop. I'm going to open up Anaconda, okay? So I have Anaconda right here, and once Anaconda opens up, I'm going to open up Jupyter. Now if you don't have Jupyter installed, you can simply just install Jupyter. Install Anaconda and you would have access to Jupyter. In the last tutorial on our data analysis, which is in the description of this video, the link, I talked about installing Anaconda, and I talked about some Jupyter notebook commands that you need to familiarize yourself with if you are going to be working with Python, and if you're going to be working with the Jupyter notebook. Okay, so this is exactly what it looks like, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead, right, and I will open up my notebook which I've created, and I hope nothing is on this notebook right now. So I have I've created some so I'm just going to clear my notebook, right? Using the DD, I'm going to delete all columns, and I'll just start from scratch, okay, working with this notebook. So like I said, the first thing you need to do, you need to install Numpy. If I already have Numpy installed, but I'll just show you exactly what you need to do to install Numpy using pip or conda. If you go back to your Anaconda installation, you're going to see that you have this command prompt, cmd.exe prompt, okay? So this command prompt, you can actually click and launch it, and it will just open up your cmd, and all you need to do is simply say conda, right, install Numpy, okay? If you don't want to use this command, you can use the pip install Numpy. Anyone is going to work very fine. So if I just say pip install Numpy, note that you have to be connected to the internet. So I say, and you can see requirement already satisfied right here, because I already have Numpy installed, okay? So I'm just going to close this up, and then I'll head back over to my Jupyter notebook which I've created, and then we've satisfied our installation. The next thing you want to do is import Numpy, and to import Numpy library, all you need to say is import Numpy, okay? And once you do this, you have imported Numpy, but I'm going to add something which says as np. Now me adding as np means wherever I have to use Numpy, I can easily just write np. This gives me a short alias, which it is actually called an alias, to just represent Numpy. You can use any alias you like, but np is the standard, and you would see in most data science code working with Numpy, you see import Numpy as np. So let's stick with the num, okay? Now after importing Numpy, the first thing I want to show you how to do is actually create a Numpy array. So you create a Numpy array by I'm going to save my first Numpy array in a variable called a1, okay, array1, or my first array, and I'm going to show you that you can simply write np.array, okay, and open and close your brackets, and in this bracket you want to introduce an argument. That argument is going to be a list, okay? So you have to introduce a Python list right here, and 1 2 3 4. Okay, so I have created an array. Shift enter, and this has been created. Now what can we do with this array? And you may say, oh, this is just a Python list. No, it's not a Python list anymore, because you are using np.array to actually create this numpy array, and you see exactly what we can do. Okay, so I'll first print A1 so you can see exactly what happens, and you can see I have A1 being printed out like so. Now one thing we can do again, we can check the type. Remember in Python we have the ability to check type, okay, data type. That is what I mean. If I hit enter there, shift and enter, sorry, you can see I have a class numpy.nd array. So this is actually a numpy array, and I have opportunity to perform some functions on this numpy array. So the first thing I want to show you is what dimension is this array. So to actually check the dimension of the array, you can easily do that by doing a1.shape. okay, so once you do a1.shape and you do enter, and you're going to see that this is a 1D array. Okay, now if I create a 2D array by enclosing this bit right here in its own square brackets like this, and this bit also in its own square brackets like this, and I hit enter, if I do a1.shape, I'm going to see I have a 2x2 array, which means I have a 2D array right here. Okay, now this is now a 2D array, and I'm just simply going to show you that you can also check the size of the array, and the size of the array is 4 right here, meaning we have 4 elements in this array. Okay, now another thing we can do is we can check the minimum value in this array. Okay, and the minimum value, as you can see, is 1. We can also check the maximum value in this array, and you can see the maximum value in this array is 4. We can also check the mean. Okay, and if we do that, you see the mean is 2.5 of this array. And if we print this array right here, okay, if we print this, we see the structure. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Now if we come back here and just print the transpose, okay, so if we want to print the transpose, we can easily do a1.transpose right here. Okay, so if we do that, we're going to see that the first row becomes the first column, while the second row becomes the second column right here. Okay, so that is exactly some of the operations we can perform. I'm simply going to show you how you can select a section of the array. And to select a section of the array, this is very simple, guys. All you need to do is I'm going to use the print statement and then the name of the array, just as you do with a Python list. You can actually select it by the index number. So you can do A1, a square bracket, and 0. And if you do this right here, you see that you are taking the 0th element of this numpy array, which is another array. Okay, another numpy array that consists of 1 and 2. And if you change this to 1 right here, you will see that you have 3 and 4. Okay, now you can also do like a slice operation. Okay, so you can do the 1th element. So I can do select 0, and all I need is the first element in that array. If I do this, shift enter, I see I have just one element that says 1. Okay, now I can do the same for 1 and 0. Okay, and hit enter, and I have 3. Okay, so all list operations are valid in a numpy array. So you have the opportunity or the ability to perform list operations in terms of slicing, and then you can also have additional functions like the transpose, the min, max, the min and the max, and then the values of the array. So that is that about this numpy array and some minor operations you can carry on. So I'm quickly going to show you one more thing before we move on to the next thing. For this, I'm going to create another array, and that array, remember, we have np.array. This is how you create a numpy array, and it's also going to be a 2 by 2 array of 1, 0, right? And this has to be 1, so 0, and then I have another square bracket and 3, 6. Okay, so I have this array which is a2, so I have a1 right here and I have a2 right here. Okay, so the first thing you need to understand is that a1, you can actually print the value of, so let me show you what you can do. You can print a1 plus a2 right here, and if you do this, you're going to see the value of a1 plus a2. You can also do a1 minus a2. Okay, you're going to see the value. You can also do the multiplication. Okay, a1 multiplied by a2. Now you can see, can we do the division? So let's try that and hit enter, and you see that you have this kind of Python error. Divide by 0 encountered in true divide. So I'll encourage you to always play with like different operations and see exactly what can be done, exactly what cannot be done using with 2 or more arrays. So this is where we draw the curtain for this first numpy video. In the next video, we'll begin to talk about things like copy, view, and filter, and advanced concepts in numpy. So thank you for watching this video. I really hope that you learned something, and I really hope that you share this video so we can reach more people. Please ensure that you subscribe to the channel so we can keep growing and we can keep doing what we do best on this channel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one, guys.